Before we talk about Bitcoin, tokens, or anything else crypto, we need to understand one thing, which is blockchain. That word can switch people off instantly, and I do understand that because it does sound a little bit technical or complicated, or something designed for people who've got computer science degrees. The idea behind blockchain, however, is surprisingly simple, and once you understand it, the whole crypto conversation suddenly becomes much easier. To help you understand blockchain, let's start with something familiar, a ledger. A ledger is just something that records transactions. Banks have ledgers, accountants have ledgers, businesses keep ledgers. These ledgers record things like who paid for what, who owns what, and how money moves. Traditionally, these records are controlled by a central authority. A bank controls its own ledger, a company controls its own accounting system, and we trust those institutions to maintain accurate records. Now, for those of you who grew up in the UK in the 70s or 80s or even the early 90s, you might remember something called a bank passbook. Whenever you went to the bank and deposited money or withdrew money or received interest, the cashier would stamp the transaction into your passbook. That little book became your personal record of truth. You could open it and see exactly what happened in your account. Now imagine if instead of one passbook held by one bank, the record existed across thousands of copies at the same time. Every time a transaction happened, the network would verify it and update the record everywhere at once. That is essentially what blockchain does. Instead of one organisation controlling the ledger, the record is distributed across thousands of computers around the world. Then each computer holds a tiny copy of that ledger, and whenever a new transaction takes place, the network verifies it collectively. Once verified, the transaction is added as a new block of data. That block is then linked to the previous block, and that's why it's called the blockchain. A chain of verified records. Because the ledger exists across thousands of computers, it becomes extremely difficult for anyone to secretly alter the records. If someone tried to manipulate a transaction, the rest of the network would reject it, which is why blockchain systems are often described as tamper-resistant. The first major application of this technology was with Bitcoin, which you've probably heard of, and that was launched back in 2009. Bitcoin used blockchain to create something new, a digital system for transferring value between people without relying on a bank. Instead, the network itself verifies that transaction. Today, the Bitcoin network is supported by thousands of computers across the world that verify transactions 24 hours a day. But once developers realized what blockchain could do, they got really clever and started building so much more on top of it. New networks, new financial systems, new ways to record ownership. And that's when crypto stopped just being about Bitcoin. It's become the foundation for an entire ecosystem. And when you understand that technology underneath crypto, something interesting happens. The conversation stops being about coins and speculation, and it starts being about what people are doing or building with this technology. Because developers, companies, and investors around the world have been building systems on the blockchain for many, many years, more than a decade now. So in the next video, I'm going to zoom out a little bit and look at something that most people would never see. It's the crypto ecosystem itself and the hundreds of companies that are now building in it.